if I were to give you an arrow, and I say, I want this arrow in a target 100 meters away, you can run 100 meters with the arrow and stick it in the target. And from the outside, it looks like you're one of these really hard-working, get up and go, let's get the job done kind of people. But there's a better way, and that is to use a technique. And that technique is the bow. Now, think what happens when you fire a bow. You put the arrow on the bow, and it's resting, but it's useless. If you let the arrow go from there, you'll just shoot yourself in the foot. What you have to do is not just have the arrow in a state of silence, but you have to draw the arrow in the opposite direction to you where you want it to go. You take it to a state of dynamic silence, where it's at its full potential. And then you let go. And then the arrow hits the target. And that's what these students are doing. Their awareness is diving spontaneously within to the source of their total creative potential. And then when they come out of meditation, that increased creativity and intelligence gets applied to everything they put their mind to. So, for example, at Maharishi School, where I've been director for over 20 years now, it constantly amazes me every year. I think, could they possibly win anything more? And every year they do. And it's amazing. Like, a study in the journal Education showed that students entering Maharishi School are about average. But by the time they get into high school, year after year, classes score in the top 1% of all the schools in the United States, with no entrance exams to the school. Our students win the state science fair. Last year, every student from Iowa who went to the International Science Fair was from Maharishi School. They've won the American High School Mathematics exam 4 years in a row. They've won more of the top awards in speech and drama in the state of Iowa since they started competing in 1988 than any other school in the state. Won 17 state tennis championships, the history fair, the international photography competitions. But I think the most amazing achievement is their creativity. There are international problem-solving competitions called Destination Imagination and Odyssey of the Mind, which schools all over the world compete in, and they have to solve a problem. They have about 3 months to solve a problem and present the solution to the judges, and then on the day of the competition, they're given what's called a spontaneous problem, and they have 8 minutes to solve it in front of the judges. And Maharishi School students have won the World Championships now 4 times, which is more often than any other school in the world. And also they've had more top 10 finishes in the world finals than any other school in the world. And I was in Poland and I met with the director of Destination Imagination for Poland, and she said to me, where do you keep finding these creative students year after year? And I said, I don't. I don't go out and find creative students. We take any student, but we teach them how to find the source of their infinite creativity and intelligence deep within themselves. That's the secret of success.